Be ready, 5 seconds.
Sir, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to make my opening remarks regarding the white paper. This is a white paper on the Indian economy and its impact on lives of the people of India. Sir, the white paper has been laid on the table by the government after 10 full years of pulling out the Indian economy, which was in a fragile state, to reach the stage of top 5 economy and on the verge of reaching top 3 position. It is a statement laid so that the records of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha have the factual information on the economy, and that record shall be a record for our posterity, for our future, for entire India's youth, so that they know what effort it took for a Prime Minister with a vision to restore India to its glory. And in the last 10 years, that is exactly what has happened. And because it is my opening statement, and because there shall be a discussion in the House, I shall speak more elaborately in my reply. But I would like to state a few facts to start the debate and put some facts again before the debate commences. In the first 2 decades of this millennium, there are strange coincidences which are comparable. Both the decades suffered because of some serious global crisis. There are stark stories. When there is a crisis, how a government with a feeling of the nation will have to pull the economy up in spite of it getting affected by such a stark, very difficult, challenging crisis. 10 years of one government with some crisis and 10 years of a different government with a different crisis. The comparison shown in the white paper clearly says if the government handles it with true sincerity, transparency, and putting the nation first, the results are there for everybody to see. Equally, when you do not put the nation first and then you put transparency, the results are out there for you to see. Documentary evidence is given, Supreme Court verdicts which have come have been quoted, CAG reports have been quoted. Nothing is a figment of anybody's imagination. Therefore, to constantly say that it is baseless is surprising. Now, looking at the way in which very many members have spoken, I will try to answer some of the issues raised by the members, but also focus on some of the critical aspects of the white paper. Sir, I repeat, the white paper is a serious document with documentary evidence for everything that is said in it, and is prepared with an intention that the House will be informed of the 10 years literally dedicated effort to get this government work in such a way that the economy is back on rails and also progresses in such a way that our aspirations can be met. There are two rails. I want to leave this as a strong part. Two rails on which we want this economy to move forward. One is to correct all the misgovernance which happened during the 10 years, and the second is just not to focus on that but also aim to do a lot of reforms and also nudge the economy in such a way where necessary to incentivize the economy in such a way that the movement forward is smooth. So, the two tracks which we have followed since 2014 are one, to remove all the hurdles, all the misgovernance, and equally focus on reforms so that the economy can move forward. If the truth of the state of affairs of our economy had been revealed at that time, not one investor would have come to India. Our own citizens would have started feeling what is happening in this country. All institutions have broken down. No proper decision making is happening. There were big corruptions. Leave the small ones. There were big corruptions in their 10 years. On an average, there was a big corruption in every year. Our own people would have lost faith seeing the white paper. Prime Minister very clearly said that we did not want to bring this at that time. Why has it been brought now? We have completed 10 years of governance, 10 years of sincere effort to clear up the economy, 10 years of sincere effort to make sure that we are not going to stagnate because of the legacy which has been left behind us. We wanted to make sure that we do reforms. We also took every step which had to be taken for cleaning up the system. Today, from that fragile 5 situation, we have reached the place of 5th largest economy, and soon we will become the 3rd largest economy. Now, our economy is stabilized. People are coming in. Our foreign exchange reserve has improved. FDIs are coming in. A lot of sovereign wealth funds are coming and having joint venture investment in greenfield projects. Our 10 years can, therefore, be periodically compared with their 10 years so that people cannot say that you came in by saying big things, but you know that you cannot implement those things and therefore you are doing this. Some of the state governments, after having given false promises, now are not able to administer their states and are putting the blame on the central government. They come and protest at Jantar Mantar instead of administering their states properly. So, we would have easily been accused of such things had the white paper been brought at that time. We did not do that. Responsibly, we took the challenge of getting everything sorted out. Now, having sorted out and placed the economy in a proper position, we have, with documentary evidence, brought this white paper. This is why now this white paper has been brought. Sir, in the morning I gave a detailed explanation on coal scam and also on the way banks as institutions were misused. I also explained how, if you were to compare the Commonwealth Games with the G20 summit, they were organized and what the difference was. Now, I would just focus myself on 3 issues and I will elaborate those issues. I am sure you all have seen them in the white paper. I want to explain 3 issues. How the national security was compromised in those 10 years, how Environment Ministry had become a bottleneck, how not one proposal was able to move, and how the country's development programs suffered because environment clearances were not obtainable and details of that, and finally, how the leadership failed the country. I want to elaborate on these 3 issues. After that, I will obviously respond to individual members and their questions. Critical shortage of ammunition and defense equipment was the main feature of 2014 when we inherited the economy. Raksha Mantri ji is here and I am saying this before him. What was the situation at that time? Bulletproof jackets were not available for our soldiers. Night vision goggles were also not available. During nights, they could not do anything. They were exposing themselves like sitting ducks in the dark. That was the attention given at that time.